Oh, it's great to be here.
I don't just hate it as a Buster Only run, for the record. I just hate Mega Man 5. Oh god. Let's do this though.
Yeah, my personal opinion is Mega Man 5 is one of the best Buster Only games. It's a very smooth run in my opinion. So we're going to see some really awesome stuff, including one of my favorite tricks in all of Classic Mega, the Crystal Skip. So get ready for this. All right. Oh, Stizer says that you're muted.
Probably because I muted myself on stream. Hooray!
Yeah, we need you on stream. Possibly.
Anyway.
Yeah. All right, unmuted. Here we go.
Hi.
So who wants to count this down?
Hi.
Kame,
Hi. Once again, I'm Bull. I'm doing the restreams. These guys are talking.
I think they already heard us.
All right. Count me down.
Okay. I'll count you down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, and here we go. Jumping in to exactly what everybody wanted to see. Getting that crystal stage over and done with, faster than ever before, better than ever before, and more fun than ever before, and possibly more times than ever before. Hopefully we'll see this completed on the first try here, but basically Bull's going to take a lot of damage here. A lot of damage on purpose, looking to die on a particular pixel that basically confuses the game, and when he comes back, it'll spit him out at the end of the stage if he doesn't, right? We'll see.
And unfortunately, that was a little bit off there. Looks like it was a little bit too soon. What you want to see in this trick is, you see these ball kind of enemies. They got a ball for a head that's bouncing on top. They're actually two separate sprites that are composed this enemy. And what you want to see is, you want to see the lower half of one spawn without the upper half. And that's exactly what we just saw here. So second try, still really good.
Yeah, basically this enemy spawns over the course of 2 frames, and if you die after the first frame of it, but before, on the frame that it would have spawned this, the ball, it doesn't spawn the ball and sets your checkpoint to an insane value. So we have about 40 seconds here where it just counts down through all the possible values until it actually finds an existing checkpoint. Since it's starting at the end and working its way back, when it finally finds one, it'll be the final one. So he'll be right there at the boss. And if you get this first try, this is technically faster, to my knowledge anyway, than any percent task running through the stage. Not by like a whole lot, but faster.
Yeah, it's true. It is faster. And Crystal Stage, you see, it's really sad that the devs forgot to put an entire stage in. Really, just 3 rooms. It's atrocious.
I mean, if you ask me, that makes it that much better. I mean, we're trying to go fast, and we can go that much faster in stages that only have 3 rooms. I mean, we need more of this.
True. Their carelessness, the devs' carelessness is obviously our benefit here. So yeah, Crystal Man, really quite simple fight. As long as you stay near him, he doesn't do his quad shot of crystals, and all he'll do is kind of bounce up and down and try to shoot you with a single shot. You definitely don't want to use, or you don't want him to use the quad shot because that causes a lot of lag. A lot of Mega Man 5 is lag management, as you'll see. There was just a lot of laggy spots in this game.
Yeah, there's a lot of lag, and depending on where and how badly you're lagging, it can break certain things even, which sometimes look cool but aren't fast, so we don't want those to happen just because they're not fast.
Gyro Man stage can be a precarious stage, lots of pits. There are some interesting strats here, mostly damage boosting right here in the first part of this stage, so that we don't have to mess around with these shield enemies. But we might see later in this game, or in this run, sorry, that the shield enemies, much like many Mega Man games, shields are just for show, and they actually don't matter. And Mega Man 5 is no exception. There are plenty of shield things in this game that are just we can just ignore. These shield enemies, if you just are close to them, you can put your buster right through the shield and kill them, even when their shield is down. So, yeah, I hope we should see that. I think we'll see that in Stone Man stage. But it is like a really interesting thing that all these shields just don't mean a thing.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Contact damage has always been a horrible thing in Mega Man games, but in this one, it's kind of a suggestion.
Right. Mega Man 5, as you'll see a little bit later, has also some interesting, unique mechanics, which I think make it pretty special. One of those is that you can't actually charge your Buster while you're sliding, and so in this game there are spots which I call where you will be strategically walking. You want to walk so that your Buster will charge. We'll probably see that in a stage coming up. Another really interesting, unique thing, which I love about this game, and Kame probably hates about this game, is that enemies have iframes in this game. I think it's amazing because you can't actually just mash an enemy down. You have to be careful about your mashing. You have to do it rhythmically. It can be very frustrating at first to experience not being able to mash an enemy down.
It's never stopped being frustrating for me, for sure. It's just, I can't slow down that much. I don't get how you do. I don't know. I can't. But here we have Gyro Man doing his up and down game here. He'll, as you can see, throw a gyro down and try to drop down on your head. And what you want him to do is try to throw more gyros without raising up. But unfortunately, he doesn't like to play very nice. So we got the usual traditional RNG, which is the worst RNG. But
one of the reasons why Gyro is usually first in a Buster only run is just because of that RNG. It's really, you can't mitigate it. You just have to pray that Gyro will stay on the ground instead of floating up in the air.
Yeah, and I think you can lose like something like 13 seconds or something like that just by getting the bad pattern compared to getting the good one.
Oh yeah. Gyro for me is usually second. As it is for Bull. All right, Starman stage. This is a great stage, very fun. It's got low gravity physics, which is, I think, basically the same implementation as underwater physics. You float down slower though, and you can jump higher.
Yeah, it's a little bit different than water because, like, if you're underwater, you can't exactly jump out of your slides. But
right.
But here you still can. So I guess. I don't really know exactly what they did.
I think the jumping out of slides isn't a physics thing, but rather a foreground tile thing.
Yeah, it is. Foreground tile thing, exactly.
Yeah, so, yeah. And, of course, we're skipping letters. We don't need beat. Skip the stupid bird. Don't need that in Buster only.
Oh, yeah, we don't need anything. We already got everything we need. We just got to get to the end. That's all it is. And
as you can see, some of these areas are very laggy. Those enemies that spit out lots of sprites when you blow them up, super laggy.
Even this guy can sometimes make a little bit of lag with I think the first laser he throws, it chews up a couple of lag frames on you. But then you got all these Mets here, and that was lag almost until the very end of the screen. We're gonna see a little bit of it here as well, but Bull's gonna attempt to mitigate some of it by destroying these guys here. It actually wasn't too bad, but you see when there's all 4 missiles on the screen there, like just for that second or two, it's lag city.
And now another enemy with a shield that we are just gonna ignore.
Yep, here's Woodman from Mega Man 2.
Oh yeah, Space Woodman.
Yeah.
So as you can see,
growing face.
yeah, as you can see, Siberian is just getting really close to him and putting his Buster right through that shield and firing in. Shields don't matter. Welcome to Mega Man 5, where the bosses are made up and the shields don't matter.
Shields are only a suggestion.
Exactly.
Very much so.
That's the best thing
another
about
thing. Yeah, one of the interesting things about this game too is I think it's really interesting that every one of the classic NES has some different quirk about it. In this game, much like Mega Man 3 through 6, you want to be in the center of the room when you kill the boss. However, unlike some of the other games, the fanfare for Mega Man 5 will happen before the bubbles, that explosion bubbles actually all leave the screen. Unlike Mega Man 4, for example, or I think Mega Man 3, where the fanfare only starts after the bubbles have left the screen. In those cases, you want to kill the bosses close to the center. But in Mega Man 5, actually, it's a lot better to kill the bosses close to the edge so that you reduce lag. Again, those bubbles, those explosion bubble sprites can cause so much lag. So there's so many cool little optimizations you can do in this game.
I don't know where you are on the stream, but I'm just glad I got through the tunnel of love.
I saw your face when you did, and that was beautiful.
Yeah, so this is Napalm stage, and that area right there with those drills in the tunnel, those drills are one hit, one kill. They are basically moving spikes.
Yeah, I had to practice that section a lot, and I was having trouble in practice doing that section, so I'm just glad I'm past it. I hate the tunnel. I hate the tunnel of love.
It's a rough one. If you don't chain your slides just right, then you don't necessarily know exactly where those things are going to pop up at. 'Cause they're on a timer, rather than like being position based when they spawn.
Yeah, if you're trying to PB, it's like you're better off resetting.
Another thing that, for sure, another thing that you see here is whenever Bull gets hit, Mega Man gets hit, he completely loses his charge. It's another quirk of Mega Man 5 and 6, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, one of my least favorite things for sure. And something you were mentioning earlier we're going to be seeing here. I don't remember what you called it. I call it tactical walking, and we're going to see quite a bit of tactical walking during this boss fight, I imagine, because this boss was basically built with it in mind. There's going to be a lot of time spent not sliding just to make sure to get them charges up, but still be dodging them napalm drops there. It's literally what half of this game is made of in the Buster Only run, is tactical walking like that, just to make sure you're charging when you should be. And
Yes.
as long as you do it, as you can see, the boss is pretty easy. He's over with nice and quick. If you accidentally do 1 or 2 extra slides, though, you could find yourself in a world of trouble, and your rhythm's completely off, and your best chance is to miss a cycle entirely rather than trying to catch up.
Yeah, I call it strategic walking, but same difference.
Yeah, same difference. Close enough.
That's fine. You're gonna see a bunch of that in this stage.
Yeah, Charge Man stage, actually, I generally put Charge Man stage sooner in the run because it is, I think, a more difficult stage to optimize. You have the first part here with these kind of, I forget what these are called. They are Mets of some kind, but they drop bombs and they can do a lot of damage, and of course, all those bombs cause lag as well. So optimizing your movement in this stage can be a little bit tricky.
For sure, there's a lot of very short slides that you have to quickly jump out of and fire if you want to optimize it pretty well. And I mean, there's also a lot of very short little passages. You saw there's a lot of little lowered sections up there on the top section. And if you hit a right wall while you're sliding and you try to jump out of your slide, good luck to you. It's probably not going to work. That's just another one of those little quirks of Mega Man 3 through 6.
So here we are in the infamous chicken room. Who would you like to dedicate this chicken room to, Siberian Bull?
Stuffing things. Seasons chat.
All right, this chicken room is hereby dedicated to Stuffing Things.
Congrats, Stuffin'. It was a decent chicken room.
Yeah, this section does have some interesting strategic walking strats where you will end up walking here to make sure you have a charged buster so you can kill all of these enemies at the same time at the end here. Looks like Siberian ends up missing just one, but that's okay. The reason why is because they, again, when they fire, lots of lag.
Alright, here we go. More strategic tactical walking. This boss is also designed entirely with that kind of thing in mind. You spend most of your time just kind of walking away from him and trying to charge up. And otherwise, your only real slides usually come in when he drops those projectiles from the roof like that. They usually will be kind of close to him, but sometimes they'll just be off in the corner when you're off in the corner, and the positioning can be kind of tricky at times. But that was actually not that bad of a pattern. Ideally, what you really want him to do is charge after you a lot. You want to just like get real close and just barely dodge it and jump over him and just keep shooting him. But if he charges at you a lot, he spends a lot less time in iframes. Every time he was turning red there, he was completely invulnerable, so there was no damage that could be dealt. But you get him charging, you can just keep hitting him every time you're fully charged yourself.
Yeah, there's an increased probability of him charging you, I think, if you're within a certain number of pixels of him. So you want to actually stay close to Charge Man as well.
Yeah, you want to stay real close to him, and it may be a placebo effect, but it feels like if I'm in the air at the right time, just a teeny bit, it seems to encourage him more so, but it could be a placebo.
So here we are on Stone Stage, one of my favorite themes in Mega Man 5. This is my jam. This is also a really, really fun game stage to play well when you hit all the strats. It's just so smooth. It looks so cool to see this. Just like all the jumps, all the buster shots firing at the right place. It's a really cool stage.
Oh yeah. There's a little bit of that lag mitigation in here, but I would say overall, besides the ending, this probably has the least of that out of all the other stages. Barring perhaps Starman, there's not too much mitigation there either. But,
And I think coming up. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, you see a little bit of almost everything in this stage though as you go through all these different bits, all the mice, the bats, we're gonna see the Metroids drop in here. We're gonna see some shield turrets in a pretty cool section
Here,
coming up.
yeah, this is what I wanted to mention. You'll see now Siberian Bull firing right through these shield guys. This is what I was saying. The shields don't matter. You can fire right through them.
Yep, they're shielded. They have iframes. They're dead anyway.
I hate the end of that section too.
Oh yeah. You can jump over the shield guys. It is possible, but it is.
It's
really
tight. The window's tight.
It's super duper tight.
Extremely tight.
It's so tight. It's almost locked.
Yeah, it's so tight that I've gotten to the point where it's like, you know what, I'm just gonna go through these if I have enough energy.
We're skipping Flip Top because he doesn't give us anything we want.
Yeah, Eddie's never a cool guy, except when you really need it and you assume he's not going to be. Then he is, but it's too late. Yeah, this is like the laggiest section of the stage right here, but that's over with. Just a few net D boosts and right on through. And
Stone Man.
Face Stone Man, who's a fun boss. Got a lot of iframes himself.
He's a boss you should never die to.
Yeah, he's definitely
He's easy. He's super easy. He mostly just hops around, and the basic strategy is if he does a big jump, shoot him on his way down, whether you're charged or not, and otherwise try to charge up. But I mean, it mostly comes down to what kind of jumps he wants to give you in terms of what kind of time you're gonna come out of here with. You're probably not going to die, even if you come in with like no health. He's free. He's super free.
Unless you're unless you're me on a PB pace and you decide you're just gonna die on him at low health.
Well, I mean, nothing's free on PB pace. Just walking down a horizontal platform, that's not even free on PB pace.
No, on PB pace, you just don't think about it. You just play the game because that's what I did. Just do it.
I think this stage also, Gravity Stage, another one of my favorite tunes in this game. Also another really great stage to see done in Buster Only. Just it's all the movement is so smooth, and it is so cool to watch because you keep going back and forth between being on the ceiling, changing the gravity, being on the ceiling, and being on the floor. And so like watching this whole stage played out Buster Only is a lot of fun.
It's a very satisfying stage to get through quickly, Buster Only, because there's so many weird obstacles, like everywhere. Everywhere is weird stuff, and there's a lot of intentional deboosting, but there's a lot of accidental deboosting as well, usually, because there's just at least in my opinion, it's a particularly tricky stage, just the whole way through. And the gravity switching is probably the least of the issues throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, it's one of the stages too where you should be able to get to the boss before the music cycles. So if you ever hear the music cycle in this stage, you've gone a little bit slow.
Really, I never even noticed that.
Yeah. If like we're almost near the end of the loop here, but we're pretty much well ahead, I think. But if you don't get through the stage before the cycle hits, you're better off resetting. You did a bad stage. But that was a really good stage.
And here's a really good boss. He has, as far as I can tell, no RNG. I have seen him do different things once or twice, but only slightly different, and it may have been my own fault.
Yeah.
But he's pretty established in his pattern. You can just expect to charge all but I think 2 different cycles where he drops.
Just one.
Yeah, there's one cycle where he switches the gravity where you cannot actually hit him with a full charge shot. And the only difference in this fight is basically up to you because he does fire a shot that tracks Mega Man. And so it depends on your position in the stage, but his actual like movement pattern throughout the stage is always the same. There is no RNG in that. One of the nice things about Mega Man 5 too is that you can actually buffer your stage select inputs. So when you're on that screen, right before the stage. Like you can buffer the input to select stages, and then you can buffer the diagonals to the stage you want. It's the only classic Mega Man game, I believe, that allows you to buffer inputs in that way, and it's just so nice.
Yeah, that is something I do like about 5, actually. It's a beautiful, beautiful game.
So wave stage, we have to ride the bubbles. There is no other choice here. You may have seen 80% runs of this using the super arrow to get up this quicker, but alas, we cannot. And there should be Musical Buster here at the end.
Yeah, Bull's verifying his run right now with Musical Buster. So the run seems to be valid.
I do it twice. I do it in Gyro too, but I was off time there.
Oh man, off time. You tried. We'll allow it.
And we're coming to another infamous section of this game, usually one that you can skip an 80% using the super arrow, but we unfortunately have to take the full boat ride here.
You can make
80%? 80% is a weird version of this game that people play where you use these special weapons.
Yeah, you get like a bird friend and stuff. It's weird.
Yeah, well,
they don't. It's weird. This is the only Mega Man game that doesn't have special weapons.
So
Good
you
squid
can
play.
technically, and I think Bull was trying to talk about that. You can technically skip the boat here.
Yep.
In Buster only, but it's just a soft lock.
It's a soft lock, but it's fun to watch when it does happen.
Yeah, pretty much Mega Man just keeps jumping to the right off screen, then he's off screen for a while. You go through the first auto scroller section, you get to the mid boss, and that's it. You're off screen, so you can't kill him, so you're stuck. There are theorized ways to maybe do something like Pixel Perfect, but it seems like when you do, Mega Man just jumps straight through the boat and doesn't even get in it anyway.
Okay, we're doubly valid now. We got the E.
I think Bull picked up an E for some reason. I don't know why.
Because the run's now really valid.
But what are you using that E for?
You gotta pick up an R first, and then like 3 or 4 more E's.
The E's for easy.
That's
And
where
here-
you activated easy mode, and that's gonna show with this boss.
Yeah, this is Wave Man. Wave Man will never actually hit you with one of the spouts. It'll never spawn where Mega Man is actually standing. So as long as you don't move during his animation to spawn that spout, you're safe.
I'm sorry, there was a boss fight there?
Yeah, it's over already. I mean, wow, could barely explain one thing, and it's over. That's why
Yeah,
that's last, because he's nothing.
Yeah, Wave Stage and Wave Man are usually last. Put them at the end where they belong.
Yeah. So, in case we didn't explain it very much, in Buster only runs of Mega Man games, you usually will put whatever's going to cause the most resets first, rather than having like a particular route based around weapons. And depending on your play level or how comfortable you get with the game or whatever, your route can change, and like it's perfectly fine that it does as you go in learning a game Buster only.
Right. Here we go. This is the first of the Proto Man stages. Wow, it's really weird that Proto Man is the villain of this game.
I always,
but you know, I guess
Proto Man was always kind of sus. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, Proto Man sus. Red sus.
Blue
is definitely the hero here. Red sus.
I don't know. I mean, Blue is killing a lot of things. He might be an imposter.
I mean, they're all robots. They don't have feelings.
No.
So unfortunately, here is one of the few instances we're going to be seeing of a utility item. So yes, this is a Buster-only run. However, like I said, unfortunately, this game does have sections where we cannot get around not using a utility. So Rush Jet used in this stage just a couple of times. And we'll see a couple more instances of utilities being used, primarily Super Arrow, just a couple of times. The rules for this are basically you can use Rush Jet only when it's necessary to make some sort of horizontal movement, and you can use Super Arrow only when it's necessary to make some sort of vertical movement, as long as you're not traveling on the arrow itself. So, but luckily these are minimized. There's only like I think 4 instances in the entire run.
Something like that. Yeah, it's really mostly a Buster-friendly game for being any of the classic series games.
I know, it might be the Busterist friendliest game, and you should play it because it's awesome. It's the best Buster-friendly game.
Well, now 10 and 11 are the Buster friendliest, but
that's true. You're right. They are True Blue games. This is not True Blue, but it is definitely one of the more Buster.
Close. Yeah, it's real close. It's certainly closer than 6.
For sure, 6 is just an amalgamation of dichotomies.
6, you should play Power Percent, because that's my other good run. You should play that instead.
I don't know who would subject themselves to power percent when you have to fight the wall stompy dude. Whatever his name is.
Boss is easy.
All right, so here,
much like
this
that-
fight's already over, but
Much like that
Bull's
one.
doing a lot of that tactical walk-in stuff here to try to get charged up, but he had to slide a lot as well to try to avoid taking damage. But basically, that tank boss just gets harder as it goes. He starts moving faster and faster, and it's kind of a
Right.
pain to dodge his shots. There's a way where if you're close enough to him, you can shoot him and jump at the same time, and you'll like just barely make it over his shot. But even that, it's pretty tight. There's nothing really guaranteed for getting through that fight every time.
Yeah, one of the things that really sucks about that fight too is that you can get hit in that fight, lose your charge, and then this cascading effects of failure will happen.
There's that super arrow.
There is one usage there, super arrow, unavoidable.
You'll see it again.
And here comes what used to be my favorite section.
Used to be. What's your new favorite section?
Well, I mean, I don't play this game anymore, so I don't know.
I was saying, not playing this game. That's
You
the
don't
same
play this game
section.
anymore yet.
Every time I see the beginning of this stage, that whole area that Bull just went through there with the conveyors and all that, and the pit below, that's what I always think of, is that. Because for whatever reason, I just always died there. I don't know. I don't have as much trouble anymore, but I still don't like this stage. It just reminds me of all my deaths. Down here, we got more of these droppy guys from Starman's stage, and there's technically a way you can hit 2 of them at once with a single charge shot, but I've never actually finessed it myself, so I don't know.
It's
Yeah,
tight. It's
he's
tricky
just
window.
gonna limit him, which
I don't
is definitely a fair strat. It's
Wait.
probably faster than just using
Lately, I feel like walking there and just mashing the buttons faster, since it's just 3 hits and you're getting all 3 hit as you're walking.
Yeah, no, that is a perfectly fair strat. It's not even much slower than the fastest way at all, like hardly noticeable, and easy.
Speaking of easy,
Yeah, speaking of easy, this is the boss I literally call walkies, because there's going to be more of that tactical walking stuff going on here.
Also, he
So
does have a
get that
shield,
charges
again.
ready. Yeah, he's got 2 shields. But 2
And
times
they don't
0
matter.
is still 0, so they don't matter.
I hope there isn't
Just
another
stick your
boss
buster
with
through the
those shields.
and
Hope there isn't another
Just
boss
stick-
with those shields.
Just stick the buster in and fire.
Alright.
Another interesting thing, well, minorly interesting, is at the end of these boss fights, like after you're out of the 8 robos, in the 8 robos, we always wanted to get into the center after killing a boss, but after the 8 robos, you actually just don't want to move at all after killing
Yes.
any bosses.
That is
your
correct.
own movement can cause additional lag, and Mega Man doesn't center himself, so you don't have to wait for that at all. You can just stand
Yep.
still, and that's your fastest bet on getting out. It's still
In
better
fact-
if you can kill them near the edge of the screen, but it's not as easy to manipulate such a thing just about ever, to be honest.
Right.
But
It's actually one of the optimizations I put into my runs after Baron told me what I was doing wrong there. Is like, don't move after boss kills. In the Robot Master stages, kill them as far to the left or right as possible, and then wait for some of the sprites to leave before you try to center yourself. In the castle stages, just don't move.
right, and here we're gonna have some interesting jumps here with these mech cannons everywhere. I'm not sure how Bull's gonna handle his final jump. Let's see. Yeah, that one can be a doozy. The fast way to get through that is a doozy. I'm kind of glad he didn't go for it, to be honest.
No, I've always been taking my time with that section there.
I can't even blame you. It is the ultimate run ender when it doesn't go right. It's over. That's it.
I actually don't find it that difficult these days, and the reason why is because you can actually, I believe Mega Man, I believe Mega Man 4 and 6 are the same way. Mega Man will not fire out the charge shot until a slide is complete. So what you can do is start a slide, release B, and then as soon as Mega Man is done with the slide, your charge shot will actually be released. And that's how you can make it through that one section a lot easier. You just start your slide, let go of B, and then continue on just using or like how you would normally. You don't even need to fire.
Backup strats.
Big brain backup strats. This guy does insane damage if you let him hit you, so that was actually a really good call to just drop down like that. And GG on the miracle jump too. That one is probably more difficult than the one that Squidman was just describing to you guys.
Yes. That is definitely a run ender.
You gotta put your buster in his shield before you hit the ground, because you gotta kill him, you gotta land on the platform, and if you run into him, you're dead.
Alright, here's the jerk boss right here. Okay, damn it, he jumped.
Yeah, so this boss can either start by jumping, or he can just start by standing there. You want him to just stand there on the ground and start firing these like Cheerios at you, because it's easy to manipulate them to fire up, and but if you get hit by them, you get frozen until you're hit by the boss, and so you don't want that to happen at all. He can do pretty tremendous damage, so it looks like an easy boss.
He was being an absolute jerk there.
You can luck out and you can get unfrozen before he hits you. It is on a timer as well, but it's not a fair timer, and 9 times out of 10, he's gonna get you.
It's like a 8 or second timer or something crazy,
Yeah,
which is an eternity.
Yeah, it is.
He was being an absolute jerk though. I've never seen him move that much at the beginning of a round.
Yeah, he gave you a lot of jumps there. That was nuts.
So now we have another gimmick. First time I think we've seen you see this gimmick in a Mega Man game of kind of the stage falling down around you. So the stage is being held up by these like really cracked pillars. Don't know why Wily designed it this way. I mean, Proto Man designed it this way. It's totally Proto Man. Definitely.
See?
Of course it is.
Yeah, see?
It's right there.
Proto Man.
Now who's this guy?
Oh, wait, what's going on?
What?
They made another one? There's
Oh
two?
my god. No, it wasn't Proto Man.
What
It
is
was
that
just a bot.
monstrosity?
Gimmick infringement.
Oh
That's
my
what Doc
gosh.
Robot should have been. And he has 2 more shields, but they're bigger. So they sometimes
they
work,
fly
but
at
you
you.
still just like put your buster in him and hit him though if he doesn't want to play nice. There you go, and they also go into the center of them, so you can also time your shots right and just totally ignore those shields anyway, which Bull seems to be having a really good time of doing here right now, timing them shots pretty perfectly.
Now this is the one stage.
Beautiful work there.
You do want to have Mega Man in a particular position because Mega Man will walk to this for an upcoming cutscene.
Yeah, he's gonna move 2 pixels to the right there to line his toe up with that black line on the floor.
Perfect.
But that was basically where you want to be, is over there.
It was Wily the whole
my
time?
God.
Oh my god, it's Enrico Palazzo!
My god.
Alright, well,
Who would have thought that it would have been Wily?
I guess I'm gonna have to go to
I
my
know
bookie.
I was fooled.
Did not see that coming.
I am speechless.
Ha, ha, ha. Love the end of that.
Alright. Jerks.
I definitely put commas between all of my haws.
Who laughs like that? Who laughs like that?
Apparently Kami does. I think he's a robot.
Ha, 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 ha.
Alright.
Ha, ha, ha.
Alright, jerk stage coming up. Hate this stage. Hate Wily 1.
Wily 1 can be a tricky stage, and you'll see why. There's a fairly tricky section.
It's a diverse stage.
It's a different, yeah. Wily 2 can also be very tricky too. So
It's not that bad. This is the jerk stage.
This one starts off with a pretty hefty drop, lots of spikes on the walls just for Mega Man, because, Wily knows what Mega Man likes. But I mean, then it just totally switches gears, and it's just a nice, fairly simple hallway. I guess, trying to give you the idea that the stage might almost be over already, but no. We got turrets everywhere. We got bats dropping in on you. We're gonna have pretty soon conveyors popping up.
This is a very tricky section here too, because you can't do a full jump. You'll hit the spike. So this has been a run ender for me, just incorrectly jumping here.
Here we're gonna have another usage of super arrow here, yeah, or rush coil. Okay, you surprised me. Either one's fine though. You got to use something in order to get up there and reach that ladder and continue on. And
yeah, I've stopped using super arrow there because I've messed that spot up too many times and had to drop a run because I'd be too slow there. So I've just gone to rush coil.
Yeah, so super arrow is also a weapon and can kill enemies. And if you kill an enemy with your super arrow, your buster only run is no more. So when you use super arrow, be very careful and not to kill enemies.
Well, there goes that buster reaching through things again. He reached all the way through the enemy and fired out the other end of him there, doing 0 damage. That's another thing you gotta watch out for. You can get a little closer to things than you might think just by looking at them.
This is Crusher section take 2. Apparently Wily was not satisfied with his Crusher in Mega Man 4, and so he decided to make a new Crusher room. More deadly, actually.
Most importantly, I got the chicken yum.
Yes, that is actually extremely important to get that chicken yum.
Yeah, I mean, when you dedicate a chicken room to somebody, you gotta get chicken yum, too.
It's not like he'll put a second chicken room out there, will he?
No way. There definitely won't be another section with the mice either.
So Bull got rid of his charge here because you don't really want to fire a charge into this boss. The gimmick of this boss is that you kind of got to climb him to fire at his vulnerable spot, and firing a charge shot is not really optimal. You can't actually fire another shot while it's on the screen, and you want both these platforms to kind of come out one after the other, so you can hop on and fire away here at the eyeballs.
Yep, and other than that, he's just dropping these two dudes on you over and over and over. And a little bit of RNG. That's not too good.
Okay, Bull's giving me a little bit of a scare here.
Yeah, I've been screwing up this boss too much.
Okay. Whew.
This boss is a really hard boss to optimize, and the reason why is because you see that those enemies floating down, they're pretty much RNG how they fall down at you. And you want to get 2 charge shots in every cycle, but sometimes that's just not in the cards.
The important part is I lived.
Yes.
I lived and I didn't waste that E-tank.
Now we're coming up to what I think is another jerk stage, Wily 2. This has an interesting section, has one of the worst bosses ever created in the entirety of Mega Man.
And I agree. This is why we have an E-tank for this run, is for this boss.
Yeah. So now we have another underwater section, but it's trickier now. We've got these valves here on these pipes that are actually moving, and they can throw you off into the water.
Yeah,
but wait, there's more. Now there's spikes, and yes, as Kame said, you can't jump out of slides underwater. Okay, so Bull taking it really safe there. You can do raid and slide in that section from one end of the platform to the other, but if you mess it up, you go straight into a pit and start over at the very beginning of the stage, and no one wants to do that.
No, that's never fun. What is raid and slide or whatever?
Raid and slide, it's a coined term by one of the Mega Man runners named Raid the Great. It's basically doing a full slide from one end of a platform to the other end. So, you see them featured in Mega Man 4 quite often. Mega Man 5 less so.
Oh no, they did have another section with
more
mice. I sure hope there's not a
chickens.
chicken. Oh man, there is a chicken. Oh no, what could be worse than that? Oh, one of these guys and some spikes, I suppose, could be worse than that. But we gotta use Rush Jet anyway, so we just hop over him and use Rush Jet.
All right, here comes Jerkface. That's his actual boss name. Don't question it.
Yeah, Jerkface Q09, something like that. That's his name, I'm pretty sure.
Jerkface Q09, I like it. It's gonna be the new
this guy,
name.
he opens his flaps while he flies around like that, and that's the only time you can hit him is when his flaps are open. There's weird exceptions where you're close enough and whatnot, but basically you can only hit him when he does that. It's a little bit RNG when he does it, and then he swoops twice like this, once to each direction. And that's pretty much what this fight is on a loop. And it sounds simple, but these balls falling down, they're usually exactly where you need to be if you want to deal any damage. So it's like either take damage and miss your shot, or just miss your shot. You know, everything's all about time loss. You can kill him in one cycle. You will never kill him in one cycle in a run.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say it's super hard to optimize that fight, and one of the reasons is because you can't charge while you're in a slide, and you want to charge, but if you're walking, you're probably going to get a hit, and you're not going to make it to those platforms that are coming up that you need to be on to hit, you know, in his stupid flappy flaps.
But that wasn't too bad. I like that fight. That was a good fight.
Yeah, you didn't take too much damage. Decent time going through there.
Now, if you're familiar with the 80% route, you know that the first boss usually fight is Napalm, because then we just skip the rest of the refights by zipping through a wall using Super Arrow. Unfortunately, you can't use Super Arrow, so we get to see all the refights in their glory.
Yeah, including Gyro Man. Let's see what kind of pattern he wants to throw this time. Hopefully he'll play a little bit nicer, because we didn't even get to see the only other thing that he does. He does two things. We didn't see one of them. Wow.
And this is actually probably one of the only downsides, I think, to this game, playing it Buster only, is that the refights have an incredible amount of RNG. So not only do you experience the RNG once for all these bosses in their stages, but then you experience all of the same RNG again. And as you can see, Gyro Man is not being a bro. He is flying up into the air, getting away from Mega Man's Buster.
Here we go. We're getting him to throw these gyros now. It's in a very inopportune spot. Bull had a little bit of trouble charging up once there, but I mean, still, it was so optimal. He's already dead. That's the difference when he stops flying around. So it's huge, because he sits up there for feels like forever. When you're waiting on him to come down.
No dives, right? Who plays
no
Mega
dives?
Man?
We want no dives, please. Thank you, Gyro. Gyro Eagle. Alright, here we go. Walking simulator. Got it.
We'll see Crystal, Star, Stone. Again, Crystal will shoot out his quad shot first, as long as you stay near him after this. He won't. You see Bull actually purposely took damage from one of those quad shot crystals and then absorbed the other ones while he was in iframes. That's to reduce the lag. Otherwise, you can lose multiple seconds to lag.
Yeah, it's a massive time loss just in the one cycle. Not to mention, the lag will throw you off, and you might get hit again, and that might actually put you just far enough away for him to actually do it again.
Right. Again, where the bosses are made up and the shields don't matter.
Alright, probably not going to take any more damage to the rest of the stage now.
Yeah, it's all uphill from here, honestly.
And I lied.
Oh, well, I mean, you probably won't jump into spikes in this stage. Well,
oh, jeez.
Probably won't jump into him, but I could slide into him.
Just don't.
I mean, I try not to do that by looking away from the spikes. Don't even look at them. Don't even think they're there.
That's right. That's the best way to do it.
Just don't believe spikes can hurt you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure beliefs control that.
Yeah.
That's worked for me. You know, 80% of the time, it's worked 100% of the time.
40% of the time, it works 100% of the time.
That's right.
Now, again, Wave will not hit you with his spout as long as you don't move during this animation where he summons it. So you can just kind of stand there and be safe. Wave Man.
This is sadly an upgrade to Toad Man, too.
Yeah, I think that Stone and Toad are probably some of the most pathetic bosses that have ever been created. They simply don't do anything. Snowman jumps into your face, but he's just so easy to avoid, and Toadman just dances in front of you. Just wanted to show off his moves, and, well... Again, there's no RNG in that fight with gravity. And now we're on to the Wily Machine, which is also known as the Wily Press. There are spikes in this room!
No, they're not. I'm not looking at them. See, not looking at them. So
the gimmick here is that Wily kind of floats above you. and then when he's done floating above you, he opens up, becomes vulnerable, and then the floor rises to meet the machine, which is trying to squish you. Wily can move back and forth a random number of times, but it's always a random set number of times. So it's either 3 times, 5 times, or 7 times. You do not want to see 7s because that is just wasting time.
Well, he's being an absolute jerk here, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Isn't he always?
Yeah, and unlike the 90% fight, you cannot get more than 1 Buster hit in per cycle. I think even Baron has tried to task this out, and it is just not possible to get more than 1 Buster hit per cycle. So you are really hoping that he does 3s every single time. You just want to go back and forth 3 times, open up, and be done.
Yeah.
All right, what a fight.
I think his door there operates on Five Nights at Freddy's rules there, wherein while it's closed, it drains power because he has to open it to use his magnet and pull the floor up to him.
You'd wonder why that.
Sure it's got to be Five Nights at Freddy's rules where doors being closed somehow uses power.
You gotta wonder why he even puts vulnerability into it at all.
He maybe that's it.
He doesn't want his time.
Or he
So here we are.
If he wins, he wants it to be an extreme mistake.
Here we are in Wily 4. There is a couple of really heavy-hitting enemies. Before we get into the fight here, once again, we are at a machine of sorts, phase 1 here. This machine can do one of 3 things. It can suck Mega Man in, it can fire missiles, or it can fire bouncy balls. You honestly don't really want to see... the missiles are fine. They don't really cause that much lag, as long as you can avoid them.
I don't want to see the slow
sucking
blue ball.
does, though. And here we go, Wily capsule time.
He can do 2 things at once. He can suck you in and do either of the other 2 attacks. The capsule here, though, the capsule is usually a longer fight than it really needs to be, thanks to Wily just being a jerk.
All right, pull the lever.
A large number of spots he can spawn in on the screen, where there's just no way to reach him with the Buster or most of the other weapons for that matter.
I think there are 8 spots horizontally and 6 spots vertically, and you can only reach him in the bottom 2 or 3, I think 3. So there is a larger percentage chance that you will not be able to hit them on a given hit him on a given cycle. However, when he is hittable, low enough to be hit, you can get 2 full charge shots on him. It's a very tight window, but that's basically the only optimization you can really do in this fight. Looks like Bull's taking a little safe and just doing a charge shot and a lemon, which is 4 damage total per cycle. But optimally, you can get 6 damage per cycle as long as you time it right.
Yeah, I haven't been able to time 2 charges, so I just do the 4.
Speaking of time, this is where at the end of this fight, when the boss's health hits 0, that is where time will stop. I don't know who's running the timer, but just in case they didn't know.
All right, he's being less of a jerk now.
1 more if I do it right.
1 more, and he'll stay high for 15 cycles. Don't worry, that's how it works.
Right.
Oh yeah. Sub 50 possibly incoming.
Oh, you need to hit me 1 more time? Oh, it'd be a shame if I were to float up here in the sky for another minute.
Right.
oh, are you on PB pace? I think I'll just see you in 10 minutes.
Nope, we're done.
It's
spoilers.
That's a good time.
All right.
That's a good time.
7:03.
Very nice.
GG,
Yeah,
man.
that's 47 minutes. 47:03. Actually, not a bad Buster Only time. Anything sub 50 in Mega Man 5 Buster Only is actually pretty good. It's a difficult game to... I mean, it's a long game. I don't know if particularly difficult, but it's a long game. It's got a lot of fun quirks in it, but I highly recommend running this Buster Only for anybody who's interested.
I mean, for me, who pretty much picked it up back in April as a thing for another gig, I picked it up pretty quickly, I like things. And I think if you pick this up, you can pick it up pretty quickly. But yeah, thanks Squid, Kami, for providing the commentary. It's great to have you guys. Kami, I know you have Kami, I know you have a run in the early morning. That's Rockman and Forte, right?
Yeah, I'll be playing Rockman and Forte at 1 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah. So
wow.
Yeah. So
one something Eastern. It's on the schedule. Check that out.
Yeah, it's on the schedule. But yeah, thanks to you two. Thanks to Strizer and Game Over Cancer for allowing me to run again. Next up, I believe, is Rat Barrel doing 6 100%.
Barrel of Rats.
So stick around for that. That's gonna be awesome. I'll be back again actually tomorrow at noonish for Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide. So come back for that. There's gonna be some random shenanigans happening there. So check that out. 12 p.m. tomorrow.